Logan Lee.
Hey, Craig.
That's him. There. I'm Craig. Thanks for joining. This is No One Asked Us. All the housekeeping stuff. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Share it. Get us out there. We got a decent number in here now. We'll be on here for about 30 minutes. So get in here, get in the chat. We'll throw some of those up there. But the main thing is like and subscribe. We're at like 650 subscribers. Earlier in this season, we said like our goal is 1,000 by the end of the season. That might be unrealistic. Let's be honest. But
No, I
the
think
closer we get to 1,000, the better. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Tell all your friends. Subscribe. That's the main objective. Subscribe. How's it going?
Fantastic. Much happier to be here. Much happier now being here than I would have been on Saturday. So it's great to see you. I'm sure you're in a much better mood than.
Yeah, let's address Saturday off the top. I was in a bad place. Mentally, I was in a very bad place. I probably could have used a post-game show Saturday.
I was ready for it.
I know. I was going to get to that. Logan probably would have helped be a voice of reason for me. I thought about this. The only time I felt worse after an Illinois game was the Loyola game. Like if it wasn't 25 degrees, if it wasn't 25 degrees and snow on the ground, I would have gone for one of my 2-hour disappearing walks like I did after the I mean, I'm not exaggerating. My head was fucked up. I was in a very bad mood. I didn't speak for the last 6 minutes of the game or 7 minutes of the game. I came in here, didn't even turn a TV on. I think I might have started playing Xbox to get my mind off of it, playing college football. And I didn't go back in the living room until dinner at like 8 o'clock. I didn't say a word to my wife. It was bad, Logan. It was bad.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't have to worry about that.
I really needed tonight. I don't think I could have handled a buzzer beater or even like a 5-point game. I needed exactly what happened tonight to happen tonight. So,
I mean, here's the thing. Here's all I'll say about Saturday, and then we're gonna move on. It was ugly. It was awful. But I mean, I think you might be getting yourself a little too worked up over a January basketball game that started at 11 o'clock local time without your best player.
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right.
Like that's it. Like that's. I mean,
I got overconfident.
And here's the other thing too. I will gladly trade a road win in Bloomington and East Lansing for that loss on Saturday. Gladly, and we're already halfway there. So, I'm not.
I don't want to harp on it too much more because I've said how the mood I was in. I haven't texted anyone since Saturday. I haven't tweeted. I haven't been on Twitter. Like I stayed off. I didn't delete the app, but I have not been on Twitter. Nothing since Saturday. Logan texted me like I don't know when it was, but it was late in the game or right after the game ended. And he was just like, yes or no. I just said no. And he said, really? And I didn't respond. Like I put my phone down. I did not text any of the guys in the group chat. I didn't get on Twitter. Literally nothing. I was miserable until tip today, even. Like I was still in a funk. It was still messing with me mentally until today. So we're past it.
Let's move on from that.
Move on from that. That was an outlier of a game. Illinois, I feel like most teams have one of those. I didn't expect it to be that one. That's what it was. It was they were 90 in the net, 80 in Ken Palm. You're at home, coming off a 40-point win without KJ. Like, there's still no reason they should have lost that game. But let's move on. Let's talk about tonight. 30. No, it didn't. 25. It didn't get to 30. 25-point win in Bloomington over Indiana. Man, I wish I would have gone. I told you I thought about it.
That's the thing. We hadn't talked, and I know you mentioned it, and so I went on to Twitter to see if you had maybe tweeted that you were there. I figured you would tell me, but like, I don't know. Sometimes you just don't text me. So I went on to see if you had gone, but you hadn't even tweeted for 3 days. So,
Did you
so
notice
yeah,
that?
yes, I did. I did
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah. If Illinois had won Saturday, I might have tried to find a babysitter and gone. Christy works nights, so I got Bennett, so it really was hard for me to go. But 25-point win. It was never really in doubt after the first 7-8 minutes of the game. Illinois was a 15, 20-point lead early in the game and ran away with it. Kylan Boswell led in scoring tonight, 22 points, 7 boards for him. And then KJ came back. He made his first 4 shots, I think. Had
Something like
7
that.
of the first 9 points, 21 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds for him. So came back like he didn't miss anything. We got a good game from Tomislav tonight, 17 points and 11 boards, 4 assists as well. And a fight we'll talk about in a little bit. Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn, 12. Hummerkaus had 7, and then 3 guys with 5 with Trey White, Will Riley, and Morez Johnson. Out rebounded Indiana 51-37. That's the difference from Saturday and today. Like, if Illinois rebounds the ball like they should, they're going to be really, really hard to beat by anyone. I mean, they'll be one of the best teams in the country if they rebound like they should. And that was a big key tonight, as well as 3-point field goals. Indiana can't shoot worth shit, and Illinois was hitting threes. Indiana had 4 guys in double figures. Valo was 16. Goody had 13. I didn't realize he had that many. He had 9 in the second half. Rice with 12 and Galloway with 10. What it boils down to for me, Indiana just sucks. They're so bad.
Yep.
Someone even said it in the chat already. Oh, it was your dad, Tim. Woodson may not survive this, and Mike said the same thing. Woodson out mid-season. Can he save his job? I don't think he can save it. Unless they win the Big Ten or make a deep run, like a second weekend run in the NCAA, I don't think you can bring Mike Woodson back. I hope they do. I hope they sign him to an extension and he's there forever. But I don't think that they can. They're just so bad. And I picked them preseason to win the Big Ten. They were without Renew tonight. I don't think he would have made a difference tonight. Overall, does he make a difference? Probably a little bit, but that's my biggest takeaway is Indiana is just a trash right now. As a program, not just this team. Like, it's been 3 years of this.
It's a football school. They've had more success in the last 5 years football on the football field than they have in
Is it Star Wars meme? Like, or no, it might be Avengers, where like we made the college football playoffs, but at what cost?
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Basketball. No, they're not good. I mean, that's crazy to say about a team that was what are they, 14 and whatever, 14-4, 14-5,
something like that. Yeah.
But looking at their net stuff, they're 1-4 in quad 1, 1-0 in quad 2, and they're 11-0 in quad 3 and 4. So, I mean, most of those wins are coming against not very good opponents. I mean, this is a program that everything looked like it was trending in the direction of Mike Woodson being out, and then he brought in a bunch of talent. You got one of the best transfers in all of college basketball in Balo. You got several guys around him. You bring in somebody like Luke Goody, and it has just not amounted to nothing at all. They're really bad. Illinois tonight was great, especially in the first half. The offense was clicking on all cylinders. They were making threes, making shots in general, the rebounding. I mean, that was a difference. And Indiana can't shoot. Obviously, they were 0 for their first 13 from 3. They were terrible on defense. Awful. The effort was just abysmally bad. Like, they just weren't covering guys. They were leaving KJ wide open. They were leaving Ivisic wide open. They were letting Kylan do whatever he wanted to drive to the hoop. Like, they were just really bad. Like, Illinois was fantastic tonight, and all credit to them. This is the team that, similar to what we saw at Oregon and what we have seen and what we will continue to see various nights throughout the course of the season. But Indiana's terrible. It was so bad. Like I admittedly feel bad for that fan base because I'm not sure any of them really wanted Mike Woodson back for another year. Yet they got it anyway. And now they're stuck with it. And I don't think that there will be a coaching change in midseason, but I don't think he lasts much longer than the end of the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at their seasons. This is his third season. They made the tournament each of the last 2 years, and they won a game.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no. This is his fourth season. They missed the tournament last year. They won a game in 23 in the tournament. So he's been 2 of the 3 years, but last year was 19 and 14. I think I heard Hummel say that their next 9 games are quad 1 games. So the way this team's playing,
that is correct.
The way he was phrasing it was like, you've got opportunities here coming up, but the way this team's playing, they might not win a single one of them.
Yep.
At Ohio State, at Northwestern, Maryland, and Bloomington, at Purdue, at Wisconsin. So 4 of their next 5 are on the road.
Mm-hmm.
5 of their next 7 are on the road because then they play Michigan and then go to Michigan State. Like,
yeah, it's rough, man.
Their schedule's unreal. They might have a losing record by the end of this season. They're in a bad spot. Indiana's in a bad spot, which I'd love to see. I still consider Indiana a rival.
I do too.
Like they, for some reason, I don't think they consider it that, but whatever.
It's because they have It's because they have an in-state rival. They have an in-state conference school that
Purdue,
has also been a national power.
Yeah.
So that's the school they can. Illinois doesn't have that. Northwestern.
It would be as if it would be for Illinois if Northwestern was a good school. We would think
Purdue,
Northwestern was the rival.
Not,
yeah.
So,
your dad put something in here. 8th different Illini to score 20 points this year. That's pretty impressive. Kylan hadn't scored 20 yet. Does that sound right?
8 different players? Is that what he's saying?
That's how I'm reading it.
Hummerkaus has done it. Ivisic has done it. Trey White, I'm sure, has done it. KJ's done it. Riley did it. Did Dre do it? Dre's probably done it earlier.
Had to
Eastern.
yeah.
So yeah, if Kylan hadn't done it, then yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I'm surprised he hadn't yet.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this is his first 20-point game. Wow. Is that a Tim Lee stat, or did he hear that somewhere?
He had. Tim Lee knows a lot of nonsense, but I think he had to hear that from somewhere. I don't think
that's a good stat. I like
that's good. I don't think he's pulling that one out of thin air. But
so let's touch on, just because I don't want to forget to talk about it, the end there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to walk me through it. I didn't see it.
Did you see the play, or did you just see the fight?
I didn't. I watched the fight on Twitter.
Okay, so
but I did not see any of it live. Peacock essentially kicked me out. So go on.
I don't know who it was. Someone put up a shot. Ivisic was like, I feel like he was literally like on the block, and Goody came from the like free throw line to go box him out and basically just hip checked him. And it was a pretty hard box out. And Ivisic started like grabbing his hip, and then all of a sudden he's fine, and he bumped Goody and was saying something to him, like he bumped him with his chest, and then everyone started coming over, and everything that happened. It was a tough checkout. It was a foul. I don't think Ivisic needed to react the way he did. I think that's really what escalated it. But why was Ivisic in the game at that point, anyways?
Why were any of them in the game at that point?
Exactly. All this would be avoided if I don't know why Brad had everyone in, and we touched on it before in the waiting room before we went live. Like, KJ shouldn't have even came back in the game. You just can't risk it. I mean, all 5 starters were in when that happened, I believe. So I don't understand the logic. I hope someone asks him in the post game, but I don't. That's probably low on the priority list of post game questions. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be any repercussions from it because Ballo didn't throw a punch like they thought he did initially. He just kind of jumped over and pushed, but unnecessary moment because they shouldn't have even been in the game. A lot of people in here saying that Goody played kind of dirty tonight. I don't necessarily think that's the case. Did you notice anything?
I don't think he played dirty. He had the one flagrant foul early, which it was a flagrant. His elbow was high. I don't know that was a particularly dirty play. But and then again the hip check, which I actually didn't really see live. So I don't know. I wouldn't say he played dirty. He was definitely playing over. I think it was my dad again was playing overly aggressive. I think I would call it more overly aggressive than I would call it dirty.
He felt like he had something to prove, probably playing against his former team.
Probably. And when the shots weren't falling for anybody else, he was trying to do what he could to spark that. So I don't know that I would call it dirty, but yeah, I mean, he was trying to do a little bit too much for sure.
Do you miss him?
No. We can. I know people have been chirping about Luke. No, I don't miss Luke Goody. I'm fine that he left and got money, and he's playing a bigger role in Indiana than he would have played in Illinois. Let's just plain and simple.
And Indiana's a school he grew up.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with it. Like if he was gonna stay, I wouldn't rather have him over Ben Hummerkaus, which I guess, or is it Jake Davis? I don't know whose role he would have. He would have Jake Davis's role.
He would have Jake Davis, which I think Jake's doing a much better job than Luke would have.
Yeah, I don't know. Much. Like he's starting in Indiana, at least today he did. Yeah. I haven't really been paying attention, but like,
did you see the screenshot going around? Is that legit? Have you seen that?
What are we talking about?
There's a screenshot of a DM from Luke Goody saying that Woodson's the best X's and O's coach he's ever played for, and he can get any shot he wants from his play designs. I can't imagine that that's real. So if you see it, take it with a grain of salt. But there is a screenshot going around that says it's from Luke Goody. I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
What were your thoughts on KJ?
Here's my question. Here's my question. And I know the answer is no. But did Illinois have the two best players on the court from the state of Indiana?
Hummerkaus and Davis?
Well, I was going to say Dre.
Oh, yeah.
I think the answer is probably Trey Galloway. But I just thought it was interesting to think.
No, Trey Galloway is awful.
So you would take the other two over him then?
I would take Dre. I would take Dre over Galloway for sure.
And Ben? And Jake Davis, I guess, too. He is from Indiana.
I wouldn't take Davis. I might take Ben. Galloway was 3 for 11, 2 of 7.
I'm not saying in this particular game. I'm just saying,
Galloway hasn't impressed me his whole career. So, I don't know. I think Dre is the best of them all. If that answers your question.
Okay, go on.
I'm glad someone agrees with me. Ugliest loss since Loyola game for sure. We are 2-11 at noon or earlier games talking about Saturday, but we're not talking about Saturday anymore. Okay, I'm behind on the chat. Can you see the chat? Have you seen anything?
I can, but I can't flag anything. It's been going pretty quickly.
Is there anything that you want to throw up that you want me to read?
Let's see.
A couple people talking about Trey. Blake, Trey White has had a bad 2-game stretch. Need him to produce again moving forward. Your dad said the same thing. Agree. Bad Trey White game. What did he have? 5 points, 9 of 2, 2 and 9 from the field, 6 rebounds. Yeah, I feel like he's forcing things a little bit right now. He got on that run where he was the leading scorer in a couple of games. This is taking forever. Sorry.
I understand that those comments are accurate because they weren't great Trey White games, but that stuff doesn't typically bother me. And it is largely because of what was referenced earlier, that Illinois has 8 guys on it that could put up 20 points at any given time. So if one particular player has a couple rough games in a row, it doesn't really bother me when you have this much talent. I want to see Will Riley get going more than anything. I think we're in this. I was kind of thinking about this earlier. I feel like we're kind of in this weird little we're in this weird period position with Will Riley. He's not playing well enough to be taken seriously as far as draft stuff is concerned. But he's also not playing well enough and almost at times not playing enough minutes to make me feel confident that he'll be back for another season. So we're just kind of in this weird situation where I kind of want to see a little bit more from Will Riley, but not enough to like skyrocket him up draft lists. But I would rather see him get going more than, I mean, yes, we need more from Trey for sure. It has been a rough couple of games for him, but Saturday was rough for everybody. So
yeah, I think that's, I keep going back to Saturday. What I learned Saturday is that it's the obvious thing. Without KJ, you have Kylan Boswell running the team, and this team looked completely. You can't have that. He's not a lead guard. He is an off-ball guard, which I think everyone saw.
Right.
So,
and KJ's the only true point guard on this team.
Yeah, I mean, something new we've also seen the last 2, maybe 3 games. Again, Tim really chiming in tonight. Hummercast using some booty ball tonight. He only did it 1 or 2 times.
Did it on Luke.
And they mentioned Damask immediately. Why can't I think of his name?
Robbie Hummel.
Yeah, I kept someone say Rob Doster, and that's not Doster. Hummel immediately mentioned Damask's name. I want to see more of it. The dude's 6'9", 6'10".
Sure.
If you get someone 6'5", 6'6" guard and you get down there, I know you're not as strong as Damask, but just turn and shoot over him. Like I think it fits his game, and I'm sure that's something because Brad has mentioned it took Damask till about this time last year before he really kicked it on. Everyone since he committed has compared Hummerkaus to Damask coming from MVC.
That's
white
just
guy wears
so
number 3.
unfair.
They're completely different players, but the process is the same. You know, you're coming from the MVC to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
it takes a couple months. So I'm wondering if they've been slowly working on that in practice the last 3 or 4 months, and now Brad's like, okay, let's deploy it into the game because this is when Damask really took off. So that's my thoughts. Is that at Ubben, they've been working on it, but Brad's like, let's not do this in a game yet. Let's just work on it at Ubben and get it refined. Now they feel like they're in a good place, and they can do it when the matchup suits it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm not seeing anything else I really want to call out.
A couple comments on Riley. I
mean, I think going forward, he's the X factor. If Illinois can get him, I mean, he was 2 of 5 from the field. That's not terrible.
No,
he didn't have a terrible. He only played 10 minutes tonight.
Yep.
He's just not physical enough for some of these bigger guards. But if Illinois can get him going and get him to 8 to 12 or 7 to 10 points per game from here on out, I think this team's in a really good spot. I think they're in a good spot anyways, as long as everyone stays healthy. We saw what one injury can do, but I think Riley could be the X factor moving forward because we've seen what we need to see from pretty much everyone else except for him.
I mean, we saw it early on, but as you said, I think there's a lot of it just goes into it's the strength. I mean, he's just not strong enough to be able to battle with the wings and the guards, and they're not putting him in a situation to be the 4. But like I think that his size wise, I think they would like to be able to do that, but he's just not strong enough to be able to play that. I mean, he has the offensive skill set to be able to do that stuff, but as far as defending some of that and being able to bully your way to points and to positions on the court, he's just not there. So we definitely like to see more from him, but it's still going to be a work in progress with Will Riley.
I thought it too. He didn't come in until
he was late come in.
There was 12:30 something on the clock in the first half. So 7+ minutes he didn't come in, which he's normally been one of the first couple off the bench. So, I think it boils down to exactly what we've been saying. All right. It's been about 25 minutes. So next up, do you have anything else from the Indiana game specifically?
Um,
I don't think I do. If anybody has
no,
anything in the chat, throw it in there real quick.
no,
Is
not
we're about
really.
ready to move on.
This was a nice bounce back after Saturday's debacle, and I want to see this Illinois team show up most nights, because when they are, no one's going to stop them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So next up is Sunday. It is at Michigan State. What does their schedule look like? So they're playing tomorrow. They play Penn State at home tomorrow. Ken Pom has it as an 11-point game. Is Ace Baldwin back? If Ace Baldwin's not back, Michigan State should do the same thing Illinois did to
I
Penn
don't
State.
know, honestly.
So that should be a win for Michigan State. So both teams should be coming in, coming off wins. Michigan State has won 9 games in a row, and a couple pretty good wins. They beat North Carolina, Ohio State. I guess not really. They haven't beat anyone in the top 30 of Ken Pom. So not the toughest schedule for Michigan State. Do they scare you? I don't want to fall into what I fell into Saturday, but I don't know that they have any players that really scare me per se.
They don't scare me. I don't think they are. They don't scare me in the sense that I don't know that any team technically scares me in the Big Ten, because I think Illinois has the most talented roster in the conference. But you're still going to East Lansing. It's still a good team. It's still Tom Izzo. So, like, to that degree, sure. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say scares, but I mean, it's definitely not. I feel less confident about that game than I did coming into tonight, for what it's worth. But I wouldn't say they scare me. No, I don't think any roster in the Big Ten honestly scares me, because I think Illinois has the best roster top to bottom in the whole conference. Yeah,
I know
we'll see.
We asked it after the Penn State game on here. You know, how many more losses do you see? I don't think either of us expected one on Saturday. But if you continue to look, like after Michigan State, you've got Maryland at home, Northwestern at home, at Nebraska, Ohio State at home, Rutgers on the road, Minnesota on the road, UCLA at home. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 very winnable games after Sunday.
That's what I said a week ago. Stack the wins.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the stretch to do it. Like, yes, today and Sunday are the 2 toughest of this stretch, but that stretch from really Penn State all the way through Minnesota on February 8th. This is the stretch to stack the wins. So, yeah, it's very opposite of what Indiana's about to face on their schedule. So a lot of winnable games coming up. So if they can go on the road and win at East Lansing on Sunday, they should be able to put themselves in a pretty good position to win a few more between now and mid-February.
Comment here talking about Michigan State won't give up easy rebounds. Let's check here to see rebounding numbers. Illinois is, I believe, one of the top 5 rebounding teams in the country. Top 3 rebounds per game. Maybe not. Come on, ESPN. Yes, number 3 in the country with 45 rebounds per game. That'll go up with 51 tonight. Michigan State's 14th. They get 41 rebounds per game. So it's going to be a battle on the boards. That is 1 and 2 in the Big Ten. So Illinois gets 45 per game. Michigan State gets 41 per game. So that is a good call there. Czar, XAR. Good call. I do think, correct me if I'm wrong, Illinois does not play well at Breslin. Does that sound right?
Probably. I don't know all the specific numbers, but I mean, I always feel like that's a tough place to play.
If you can fill and vamp for a couple minutes, I can pull up the media
I'd be
guide.
happy to. I had something I was really excited to discuss with you here real quick, but we'll continue on this discussion while you.
We always talk about that, how when we first started doing this, like we had a rundown and we took notes during the game and we knew exactly what we were going to talk about.
Yeah,
That's
really
out the window.
Yeah, we don't need that. We're just here to talk. We're just here to talk with the people.
Everyday guy of the game. Like we had segments and that's gone.
Why do you need that? Why do you need it? We're just here to chat with all of our friends. No, it's always difficult to play at Breslin. I don't know what the record is, and obviously you're going to tell us that, but it's a difficult place to play.
I went once. It was like 2016 probably. I was not impressed. I didn't think the environment was great. I didn't love the stadium or the arena. It was just okay. But as I've had to clarify every time someone asks me, or like tell someone I've been to the big house or I've been to this stadium or that stadium, you have to remember when I'm going there in that period, I'm working. I'm not a fan. And also, I'm covering what's the word?
The team.
Doldrums. I'm covering one of the worst eras of Illinois basketball ever. It was Khalil Lewis was one of our post games interviews. Do you remember that guy?
No, honestly, I had forgotten all about that.
Exactly, him and Kendrick Nunn. That's when I was there. So, same with the Big House. It was a Jeff George led Illini football team. Like I didn't enjoy it because Michigan fans left at halftime because they were up 30. So I wasn't impressed with Breslin. I'm sure it's great when it's rocking, but I was not impressed. Okay, I got it pulled up here. Lost in 24, February 24. Won in February 22. Loss. Before that, you got to go back to 2015. So,
wow.
Won in 2022. The last one before that was 2015.
So they've won at Breslin one time since 2015. That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then, yes, it's been a very difficult place for Illinois to play. So
overall, 21-41 in East Lansing. On the flip side, 42-21 at home. So both teams kind of own their home court, which is to be expected. Brant,
what's up?
Live from Portugal.
Wow.
On vacation and worth being up until 3 a.m. to watch this game. Wow, that's dedication.
We don't even stay up till 3 a.m. when to do post games. So good for you.
Stay up till midnight too.
Good for we don't exactly.
I not only appreciate you watching the game, but appreciate you humping. You might be humping too. Appreciate you hopping on here and watching the post game after the game. So it's probably 4 a.m. Appreciate that.
Real quick, did you happen to see the I think I saw it because Mike LaTulip tweeted it out, but there was a NBA mock draft on Bleacher Report from Jonathan Wasserman that came out today. Did you happen to see this?
I told you I wasn't on Twitter, so no.
Okay. Well, the only reason I'm bringing it up is KJ
1.
No, KJ's 5. Guess who's 6?
It's got to be someone with Illinois ties. So
it is.
Said it.
It is correct.
Is it a former player that transferred?
Not quite.
Jaden Epps?
No. Never actually made it to Champaign.
Oh. Fears.
Jeremiah Fears.
Wow.
Number 6.
Wow.
Would you
Huh.
rather have Jeremiah Fears or Will Riley?
With
Here's
this
the
team,
they're
Riley, because
totally different players. Like they're totally
well,
different positions. Like
I don't think you can have KJ Boswell and Fears on the same team.
see, here's the thing, and people are gonna. I'm sure this will stir up all sorts of controversy because people are gonna start seeing this and talk about it and everything. Fears just feels like another Pajimski thing. Like he wasn't
Found the
gonna
right
get
situation.
the run here.
Yeah.
That he went somewhere where he did, and now he's having a phenomenal season, and he's moving himself up towards lottery territory. So he wasn't going to get that same run at Illinois. Like he wasn't. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that they went from him and still ended up getting KJ, who is projected to go higher than him. Again, this is just one person. I haven't seen Fears that high on anybody else's. He's been on draft boards.
Huh.
He's
Oklahoma
having a phenomenal season.
They started
Oklahoma.
the year 13-0, and they've lost their first 3 games of SEC play.
They're gonna suck in the conference, but he's having a real year.
16.6 points, 4.3 board or assists, 3.6 rebounds, 1.9 steals, 3.7 turnovers, which is not surprised. 27.9 from the floor. Yeah, he'd be second string here.
Yeah.
Second rotation here.
I mean,
that makes sense.
He's obviously having a better season than Kylan Boswell, but I'm not playing him over Kylan Boswell.
No.
If you're Illinois, like you're just not. So he went there and he's having the run that he's having. Do you want to answer Brant's question here real quick?
Yeah, I was going to throw that up when we were done. Unrelated to the game, which former Illini wishes they were still on the team the most? Sky, Coleman Hawkins, or Luke Goody? I was just thinking. I've watched a couple. I wouldn't say watched. I've had on a couple UCLA games that didn't have my full attention. Speaking of falling off, they were top 15 at one point. They were 10-1 on December 21st when they lost to North Carolina, and now they're 11-6, lost 4 in a row.
Talking about UCLA?
Yeah, UCLA. Yeah. Well, who did I say?
No, that's what you said. Yeah.
Sky Clark is averaging 6.4 points, 2.6 rebounds, 2.6 assists. He's only scored in double figures twice this season.
It's a tough question.
I don't think he wishes he was still on this team. He's just not good. I would say probably Coleman.
Yeah, that's my answer.
But even then, where would he fit in?
In Hummerkaus's spot.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I would have.
That's almost exact. Yeah,
that's a no-brainer for me. Like, if you're asking me, I would have rather had Coleman Hawkins from the get-go instead of Ben Hummerkaus. Like, being able to play him at the 4 when you have a true 5, also, like, yeah, that's the answer. But as far as who wishes they were also, who of those players wishes they were still at Illinois, I think it's still probably Coleman. I think Luke went to Indiana because he's getting more minutes and he's playing for the team he always wanted to play for. Sky, I think he's out home, back home, whatever. Coleman got paid, good for Coleman, but yeah, I think he would probably rather be playing for Illinois right now.
Yeah, Brent had another good point. Not this one. Where is it at?
He did get his $2 million. He is fine. You are correct.
About Fears. Fears reclassed.
Right.
I forgot.
So did Will Riley.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they both reclassified. That's why. I mean, yeah.
Could you imagine both of them coming in next year after KJ leaves? I guess he's the only one that, as of now, he's the only one for sure that's leaving.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Will
because of that new rule.
Will also, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think he should
because of that new rule. I guess maybe Hummerkaus can get another year.
Hummerkaus can come back. Yeah. Yep.
Which is nuts. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, so
going with that, but
my headphone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my headphones are dying, I guess. Yeah. Sunday. Win? Loss? We don't really do predictions often here, but how are you feeling after a stinker on Saturday?
I think
30-point
they'll
game,
win.
a stinker, a 30-point game.
I think they'll win. I think they're going to win the tough games and lose some lose some games they shouldn't. I think that's going to be the trend for this team.
I think they'll lose at Nebraska.
Sure, that's fair.
I don't think they lose a home game the rest of the year.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they shouldn't have lost on Saturday, and they did. So, for your mental
But
sake,
also,
I guess I hope they don't.
Are there any more 11 a.m.
No
games?
Not until March.
Did you see Piper's stats? Or I think it was Piper. Someone's stats on 11 a.m. games. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure it's atrocious. Illinois has been terrible.
Sunday is a noon tip. So.
Oh yeah, it is.
Loss.
It is. Chalk it up.
Sunday's noon, and then 2 Sundays from then is a 1 o'clock. So 11 o'clock tip for Central Time on Sunday. Noon Central Time tip on Sunday, February 2nd. After that, there's no more afternoon games. So let's chalk those 2 up as losses, and then win all the rest. How about that?
Sure, I'll take it. Honestly,
Illinois was 13 in KenPom. It's updated. They're up to 10. No, up to 9 now. Someone must have fallen down below them. 20 offensively, 9th defensively. And as of now, predicted to finish second in the Big Ten at 14-6, with Michigan going 15-5. So there's the predictions for you. Okay, anything else? It's almost 10 o'clock.
I don't think so. I think we're good. I think good game, good effort. I'm glad that they were able to pull you out of whatever deep dark hole you found yourself in on Saturday. I still think that's a little ridiculous, but hey, you know what? You live your life.
Yeah. Saturday was rough. Sunday was a little bit better. Watched football, which helped. Yeah, I was more of a Saturday, Sunday, the last 3 days, 4 days if you include today, than I ever have been. It was rough.
Cheer up, sport. It's all going to be okay. KJ's back.
Yeah. Wait. Bama lost tonight. Really? Who'd they lose to? Let's see. Auburn throttled Mississippi State. Mississippi State might be the fakest top 15 team in the country. Ole Miss beats Alabama in Tuscaloosa 74-64. Okay. Ole Miss is 15-2.
Florida's losing too.
Okay, that's a big win. Marquette only beat DePaul by 2 in overtime. Kentucky beat Texas A&M. That was a 8 versus 11 game. Texas A&M 11? Jesus. Beat them by 12. Duke is all over Miami. Missouri losing to Florida. Missouri beating Florida.
In Gainesville.
Almost halftime there in Gainesville. And then Wisconsin up big on Ohio State. How long do you think Diebler lasts at Ohio State?
Not very long.
We can probably but to answer your question, Bootzilla, I think that is who we passed because they were 10. And they were 10 now. So I think that is who we passed. Okay. I'm rambling. So let's get out of here. Noon Eastern time on Sunday on CBS. Will that lead into an NFL game?
Probably. No, I'm trying to think if that's the... I don't remember which game's which. So I don't know. Maybe.
6:30. So no, there's something between. Ravens Bills is on CBS at 6:30 Sunday. So there's something between. But CBS game, which is huge. Hopefully we can get up for this one. Michigan State get another win. They need some losses for us to win the Big Ten. So them and Michigan need to lose as many as possible. So let's start that trend on Sunday. For Logan, I'm Craig. Like, subscribe, share. We'll be back. I might not be back Sunday.
Me either.
Might be on the road. Okay, so we won't do a show Sunday, but we'll be back sometime. Thanks for tuning in.